So, jumping back in here. It's been a minute. It's been a few months for me since I got on here and did anything like this, one of these videos again. So, every time I'm like, leading up to this moment, I've been like just having a really great day, right? Not all days are like this, so don't ever think that every day seems to go great or anything, but summer's wrapping up, we're moving into September, or we're in September, we're moving, moving forward into the fall and things like that. And, I kind of didn't do, any videos. I just kind of got to a point where, I just had to take a break. There was too many things going on that I couldn't fit this channel in, but I always had it in the back of my mind and always wanted to get back to it. So here I am today. I had a great morning. I was outside this morning. I'm like, man, it was actually yesterday. I was kind of chomping at the bit a little bit I was like, man, I could really do a video. I could really talk about some things. And I'm not going to do a Course in Miracles lesson today, but I'm going to read out of the text part of the book. So I don't really know how I'm going to move forward, with things on the channel. I think I'm just going to throw whatever the heck I want in. That's kind of how I'm living my life anyway. So, working on some different things in my life. This is really what I would like to be doing more of, focusing on. And, I feel like this is what I was brought here to do, to talk about, just something around health and human potential. And, how the base foundation of that is connection to source, connection to the Creator, connection to God, connection to the light, connection to your own intuition, what you are, what you're connected to, and what you're part of, which is God and love and light and, the Holy Spirit and Christ, and all these things is what we need to be tapping into. And I just continually get these downloads. I make this movement. I don't know. It's like this natural movement I've been making where I'm like, I look up a little bit and I'm like, I like bring down, I don't know how that's how it really works, but that's what happens to me. I'm like, you're bringing in this information. You're tapping into the true source of truth and why you're here. And that's what's been happening to me. I've just been further diving into this and further doing this thing, and there's these, I'm still like this, it's still like this, I'm still bouncing around, and I know that it'll smooth out. I know that I'll be tapping in. What I was getting to say and didn't was I know that I'll be tapping more into the Creator and God and love and light and all these things over here, instead of the kind of darker or more muckier, thicker, egoic thing that we can create ourselves, which doesn't really exist, but we think it does. The only thing that really exists is creation and God and all the other things I just mentioned. So I don't want to keep saying them over and over again. But I want to talk about this lesson. I'm sitting down this time. I used to stand up, and I was going to stand up, and I thought, well, let me try sitting down and see how this goes. I think I might like standing up better. But anyway, I want to read this section to you in the text. Now, I'm just going to randomly pick stuff out of this book. I mean, this is a Course in Miracles. This is a course. Here, hold this up. It's a Course in Miracles book, okay? It's yay thick. It's got a text. I probably explained this at some point in previous videos, but whatever. There's a text. Whatever. I'll read it right off the book. There's a preface, a text, a workbook for students, a manual for teachers, and then at the end it has some extra stuff. But right now I've been reading into the text. I'm not that far into the text, and I've been doing the lessons. I'm about, I'd say, a little over halfway through the lessons. And this course is absolutely changing my life. There's no doubt about it. So I want to bring it. And this is what I feel like, if I didn't say it before I started to, is I feel like this is what I was brought here for. I feel like we've been really drug off into some really kind of, into a lot of propaganda and a lot of lies and a lot of manipulation in the world that we see and we live in, right? And I think the world is slowly waking up to all this, which is awesome. And I just want to be a piece of that. I want to be a piece of bringing what's true for me and what I believe to be true truth, and then also what's true for me, so that other people can say, I wonder if I can tap into what's true for me as well and show up as I was supposed to show up here, as I was supposed to create here in some way, right? Like, I always go back and I say this, I better get moving with this video. It's going to turn in. I knew I would do this. I'm like, I'll just do a short video and, and I knew that I just I'm so inspired by this stuff that I just will continue to talk. But I'll just throw this quick analogy at you. We're all here to create something. We're all here as creator. We came here for a reason. And we all have some uniqueness and something to create and do here. And I always think of like a Tiger Woods or a Michael Jordan, or I'm middle-aged, I'm in my 40s. So those are the people I grew up watching. But there's other people that younger people are watching. There's people that the older generation watched. These guys, they created through the art of that sport. Now, I have my feelings about sports and all that stuff now. I think it's a little bit of a show, and I think it can drag people off into idolization, and that's not good, because you want to idolize yourself. You want to idolize God, which you're a part of, which you are. So when you disrespect yourself and you do things to yourself and you self-abuse and you self-sabotage and you do these things, to me, in my perception, what I'm downloading is we're disrespecting, and we're not loving God. We're not doing the best we can to respect the Creator that created us and this and everything. So anyway, that was just something that popped up in the moment. So I'm going to read this to you. This is a section about, it's chapter 15, section 3, it looks like. If you want to try and find it, it's about littleness versus magnitude. And I sent this to a friend of mine. It's how powerful I thought it was. So paragraph 1 in this section says, be not content with littleness. This has been a battle throughout my life, right? Do I play small? Do I play into the ego? Do I play into the dark? Do I play into the propaganda? Do I play into the system? Do I play into all that? Or do I play into the magnitude and abundance of the universe? That's really what it comes down to. Every choice you have to make in every moment, every moment as you go through your day, you have this decision to make. It comes up all throughout your day. It's the smallest things, is what you put into your body, how you decide to talk and speak and communicate to people. That's another thing the course goes over, is a big time emphasis on communication. I just had something come up right before I got on here about how communication, lack of it, can be a big problem. It's a big issue and a big barrier between people. And this is the stuff that there's not enough focus on in our society. It's covered up by all the other distractions and all the smog and all the stuff. So be not content with littleness, but be sure you understand what littleness is and why you can never be content with it. Littleness is the offering you give yourself. You offer this in place of magnitude and you accept it. Everything in this world is little because it is a world made out of littleness. Speaking of the world we see with our eyes, not the one we're dialing into, not the one we're intuiting, not the one we're downloading from, or this is stuff outside. This doesn't have to do with your eyes, ears, and what you can taste, see, and touch. Everything in this world is little because it's a world made out of littleness, in the strange belief that littleness can content you. When you strive for anything in this world in the belief that it will bring you peace, you are belittling yourself and blinding yourself to glory. Littleness and glory are the choices open to your striving and your vigilance. You will always choose one at the expense of the other. Right there, boom. You're either choosing small, or you're even choosing your lower self, low vibe. You could use whatever words you want to use here to interchange and stuff like that. They're talking littleness and magnitude. There's so many different words you could use here. What did it say? You always choose one. So are you playing small, or are you playing into what you truly are? Right? My purpose here in this channel and what I'm doing, I gotta remember where I'm at. I'm on paragraph 2. Is to learn myself, to show myself as I go along in this channel and I put this information out here and I grow and I evolve. I'm playing into the magnitude and the abundance of the Creator. I'm doing what I'm saying. I was just having a conversation around this with a friend. We expect others to do certain things. Well, we got to be doing them. We can't be thinking we're expecting others or judging or whatever we're doing outside of ourselves and not doing these things in our own lives, because trust me, there's places in my life, and I'm sure there's places in your life where you're like, yeah, I'd really like this to change, or this doesn't feel right, or I'm tuning something that I need to do here. I'm here to help people tap into that and go on it, because the longer, and the Course talks about this, the longer you delay these things, the longer you delay why you're truly here, and you delay your joy and happiness and glory and abundance and all these things that the Creator and God has to offer you. So paragraph 2, yet what do you not realize each time you choose is that your choice is your evaluation of yourself. So where are you? If I'm choosing small, I must be playing small. I must be thinking small, right? Choose littleness and you will not have peace. We are searching after peace of mind and peace of, at least I've found that's exactly what we're at. We're after peace of mind. When we're chasing money and we're chasing girls or chasing men or you're chasing whoever, whatever you're doing, there's all kinds of things, all the addictions you could list off. When you're chasing these things, you're chasing littleness. You're chasing the ego. Where was I now? Right here. Choose littleness and you will not have peace, for you have judged yourself unworthy of it. And whatever you offer as a substitute is much too poor a gift to satisfy you. Right there, the stuff that I just listed. Anything you choose as a substitute to choosing your higher self, you know what it is. We all know. Now, I will take a step back for a second and say, there was places I was in my life where I was pretty unconscious. When I was drinking and I was a full-blown, addicted to alcohol, I was pretty unconscious. So, not everybody, I have a feeling the people that tune into or find this channel will feel this message. And that's just how it works. So, where was I here? Whatever you offer as a substitute is much too poor a gift to satisfy you. It is essential that you accept the fact, and accept it gladly, that there is no form of littleness that can ever content you. So you're always going to be discontent if you're choosing small. That's what's causing the discontent. It's not all the outside stuff. It's not the people that are, oh, it's so-and-so, or I go through this in my life a lot. It's the kids, or it's it. It's not. I'm choosing small. I'm choosing not to show up somehow. You are free to try as many as you wish. It's so cool. This course is so to the point. You're free to try as many as you'd like. I know I've tried all the way up. I'm 40, what am I? 2 years old, 42. Gosh, I forgot how old I was. I've been trying. I still try it. It's just what we want to do is we want to get, and I was sharing this with a friend, we want to get to a point where maybe 80% of the time we're choosing God, we're choosing high, we're choosing love, we're choosing that instead of, the other stuff 20% of the time. And then you go from there and you go from 80 to 85 to 90 to 95. And maybe we can get to the point where we're 99.9% choosing whatever. I don't know if we can get to 100% while we're in a human body. That's just my assumption right now. That's exactly what you are when you're out of the body, when we transition out of here. That's what I feel. That's what's true for me right now. Truth is truth, but like some things you may wake up to and come along to a place where you're like, oh, I'm thinking a little differently now. I've grown and evolved evolved and out of that thought or out of that belief. That's the idea here. So you're free to try as many as you wish, but all you will be doing is to delay your homecoming. For you will be content only in magnitude, which is your home. There is a deep responsibility you owe yourself, and you must learn to remember all the time. The lesson may seem hard at first, but you'll learn to love it when you realize that it is true and it is but a tribute to your power. You who have sought and found littleness, remember this. Every decision you make stems from what you think you are and represents the value that you put upon yourself. Right here, I'll stop right here because what was that? I just heard something. I was tapping into something yesterday or the day before. I'm losing it a little bit. That's all right. It was something to do around your value. What, you think of yourself highly. You go into a situation and, you don't go there and you're like, oh, I'm so glad to be around these people, but I don't really believe these people probably think that about me. No, you need to go in there thinking I'm bringing just as much value as I believe these people are bringing. We're all brothers and sisters here. We're here to serve each other. You can't go in there thinking you're not worthy of this. How many times have you gone into a social event in your life and think, now, I don't know, not everybody thinks like I do. I've played small a lot in my life. This channel will be for people that are struggling with that. I think it's every human being, but everyone's different, So, however that finds you, right? It represents the value that you put upon yourself, how you show up in this world. Believe the little can content you, and by limiting yourself, you will not be satisfied. For your function is not little, and it is only by finding your function and fulfilling it that you can escape from littleness. Paragraph 4, there is no doubt about what your function is, for the Holy Spirit knows what it is. So you have to spend time on courses like this or something like this or meditation or something. Time throughout the day has to be spent with God, with the Holy Spirit, with the Creator. You have to be tapping into this. You have to be doing your function here. You have to figure out what that is. You have to tap into that. There's no doubt about your function, there's no doubt about what your function is, for the Holy Spirit knows what it is. There's no doubt about its magnitude, for it reaches you through Him from magnitude, right? The Holy Spirit is the intermediary between you and God and Creator. It's coming from magnitude. So you can call God, Creator, magnitude, abundance, love, light, whatever. You do not have to strive for it because you have it. It's already in you. You already have it. You just have to clear the muck and clear the propaganda that you learned all your life and the lies and the illusions and stuff that you made up and, all the egoic stuff. You have to clear the smoke. All your striving must be directed against littleness, for it does require vigilance to protect your magnitude in this world. To hold your magnitude in perfect awareness in a world of littleness is a task the little cannot undertake. Let's read that again. To hold your magnitude and perfect awareness in a world of littleness is a task little can undertake. There you go. It's not an easy task. This takes courage. This takes commitment. This takes dedication. But it's for everyone. There's no one here that's not that can't do this. They can't be the Michael Jordan or the Tiger Woods of their own life. Whatever that is, you're here to create and do. Nor is it asked of you alone. The power of God will support every effort you make on behalf of His dear Son. Search for the little, and you deny yourself His power. So there you go. If you're playing small, you're blocking God's power. You're blocking the information, the downloads, the intuitions that I talk about. You're blocking it by playing small. You're blocking the miracles from happening. God is not willing that His Son be content with less than everything. For He is not content without His Son. And His Son cannot be content with less than His Father has given Him. This is a give and take. This is give and receive. There's no playing small here. That's not what you were put here to do. I asked you earlier, now this is probably earlier in a text somewhere, would you be hostage to the ego or host to God? Bam, right there. Bottom line question you can ask yourself going into everything and every decision you need to make in your life right there. Let this question be asked you by the Holy Spirit every time you make a decision. For every decision you make does answer this and invites sorrow or joy accordingly. When God gave Himself to you in your creation, He established you as host to Him forever. He's not left you, and you have not left Him. All your attempts to deny His magnitude and make His Son hostage to the ego cannot make little whom God has joined with Him. Every decision you make is for heaven or for hell. There's another way to look at it. You choosing heaven or hell. And brings you awareness of what you decided for. So there, you play small, you get hell. You play in your higher self, you tap into what you are divinely here to do, you get heaven. That's what I feel like doing these videos is for me, right? And I have to start somewhere. I have to go on something, and we'll see where this goes. The Holy Spirit can hold your magnitude clean of all littleness, clearly and in perfect safety in your mind, untouched by every little gift the world of littleness would offer you. But for this, you cannot side against him and what he wills for you. Decide for God through him. For littleness and the belief that you can be content with littleness are decisions you make about yourself. The power and the glory that lie in you from God are for all who, like you, perceive themselves as little and believe that littleness can be blown up into a sense of magnitude that can content them. So you can't play small and get magnitude. It doesn't work like that. You can't keep going down that road and expect to get more out of life and find your function and purpose here, and happiness and joy and glory and gratitude and all these beautiful things that you'll get if you get out of your own way. This isn't an easy task. This has taken me a decade, to get to the point where I'm at now. And I still have there's so much further to go. It's like the excitement of be like, what? Well, if I've gotten here, where can I go? What can I actually tap in and do here? That's what makes living worth living. Neither give littleness nor accept it. All honor is due the host of God. Your littleness deceives you, but your magnitude is of him who dwells in you and in whom you dwell. Touch no one then with littleness in the name of Christ, eternal host unto his Father. In this reason, Christmas, which celebrates the birth of holiness into this world, join with me who decided for holiness for you. It is our task together to restore the awareness of magnitude to the host whom God appointed for himself. So it's my job, your job, it's everyone's job to wake up to this. It is beyond all your littleness to give the gift. It is beyond all your littleness to give the gift of God, but not beyond you. For God would give himself through you. Right there. He's working through you. Let's show up. Let's do this. He reaches from you to everyone and beyond everyone to his son's creations. You got to create. But without leaving you. Far beyond your little world, but still in you, he extends forever. Yet he brings all his extensions to you as host to him. Is it a sacrifice to leave littleness behind? Heck no, it's not. And wonder not in vain? Is it not sacrifice to wake to glory? Is it not sacrifice to wake to glory? But is it sacrifice to accept anything less than glory? Learn that you must be worthy of the Prince of Peace. There you go. There's a good one to remember. Be the Prince of Peace. Born in you in honor of him whose host you are. You know not what love means because you have sought to purchase it with little gifts. So up to this point, you don't even know what love means because you've been playing small in your life all this time. Possibly. I'm not saying that's the case, but if you've, lived a similar life to me or can resonate with some of the stuff that I say, then, up to this point, you haven't even experienced life to its fullest. Imagine that. How exciting is that? Thus valuing it too little to understand its magnitude. Love is not little and love dwells in you, for you are a host to him. Before the greatness that lives in you, your poor appreciation of yourself and all the little offerings you give slip into nothingness. So if you feel like you're just, I don't know, for me, it was lots of years of working mundane jobs, going, you in relationships, nothing really amounted to anything. Really, if you look back on certain things in your life. It was all kind of created out of ego, created out of confusion, created out of not understanding yourself, not understanding your function and purpose here. Paragraph 9, holy child of God. When will you learn that only holiness can content you and give you peace? Remember that you learn not for yourself alone, no more than I did. It is because I learned for you that you can learn of me. I would but teach you what is yours, so that together we can replace the shabby littleness that binds the host of God to guilt and weakness with the glad awareness of the glory that is in him. This is talking about, the Course talks about God, the Holy Spirit, Christ, and, the Holy Spirit being the intermediary between you, the kind of bridge between you and God. That's kind of how the Course works. There's a lot more, we could go into there and discuss, and, I will in the future. There's no doubt. As I learn, as I learn and go through the Course, I'll bring it to this channel. Let's see here. My birth in you is your awakening to grandeur. Welcome me not into a manager, but into the altar to holiness, where holiness abides in perfect peace. My kingdom is not of this world, because it is in you. And you are of your Father. Let us join in honoring you, who must remain forever beyond littleness. Decide with me, who has decided to abide with you. I will, as my Father wills, knowing his will is constant and at peace forever with itself. You will be content with nothing but his will, except no less, remembering that everything I learned is yours. What my Father loves, I love as he does, and can no more accept it as what it is not than he can, and no more can you. When you have learned to accept what you are, you will make no more gifts to offer to yourself, for you will know you are complete, in need of nothing, and unable to accept anything for yourself. But you will gladly give, having received. The host of God need not seek to find anything. Meaning you don't really need to see that. What I take from that, and we're moving into paragraph 11, and there's the final paragraph of 12. So we're almost done here. I can't believe I've been on here for 20. Right there is how you know. 26 minutes I've been on here, it feels like 2. I know exactly that I'm doing. Time doesn't even exist when I'm doing this stuff. So I don't want to lose track of what my thought was here. We go seeking out in this world that stuff that I talked about, the addiction. You can name the laundry list of things people use for addictions, and it's basically just a numbing agent. It's a distraction. And then the system and the propaganda and the politics and all that stuff. It's all, you don't have to seek any of that stuff. You are it. You have a direct connection and direct connection. You have to all you need. You don't have to go seeking out any of this stuff. You could sit with yourself. I mean, if everybody took the first, in my opinion, if we had leaders and we actually had good teachers and role models growing up, you would be taught to sit with yourself and sit, in meditations and be taught how to tap into this. That's the foundation of everything. Then you can go out from there and whatever. The world we're living in is complete opposite of that. It's an upside down clown world. So anyway, let me move on and finish up here. Paragraph 11. If you are wholly willing to leave salvation to the plan of God and unwilling to attempt to grasp for peace yourself, salvation will be given you. Yet think not you can substitute your plan for his. So you can't create a new plan. You can't go on the ego. You have to go with that divine intervention, that intuition. You have to develop that. It takes so much courage and dedication to continue to do this with all the temptations and all the other thoughts and this other version that's been created of you. But once you start doing it, you're like, oh man, you start valuing yourself more. You start loving yourself more. You start tapping into yourself more and what all that is. Rather, join with me in his, that we may release all those who would be bound, proclaiming together that the Son of God is host to him. Thus will we let no one forget what you would remember, and thus will you remember it. Paragraph 12, final paragraph. Call forth in everyone only the remembrance of God and of the heaven that is in him. For where you would have your brother be, there will you think you are, right? So I go through this all the time. I'll give you a prime example of this. I really struggle a lot of times. My kids are the biggest struggle for me at times. And, if I just look at them and I kind of just maybe don't even recognize. I don't even see it. Like Christ, just like Jesus Christ was, you don't even see the smallness in people. You don't even see it. You see nothing but their abundance. You see nothing but their loving nature. You see nothing but what God created. And then when they do things, you kind of just like, I'm not even going to pay attention to that. I didn't even see that or hear that or whatever. And then when they do something that is, man, you just celebrate the heck out of that, right? Like, how do you train a dog? Like, how do you train? I'm not saying you train your kids or you do what I'm just saying, but when you train, when they do something well, you celebrate the heck out of it, right? You give them, oh, great job. You went bathroom, you went potty outside, and you celebrate, whatever. And then they go with that, and then they go into that behavior, and they continue that behavior because they loved what happened. When you just look at somebody and you see their smallness and you kind of, I get frustrated. I've done this with my kids where it's like, I won't play God. I won't play into the magnitude. I won't play into the abundance. And I'll look at the smallness and I'll look at the ego and I'll think this is perfect to say about this. And I'll wrap up. I'll look at them as an ego. This version of them, they're trying to create to escape what is. I don't know why we do this to ourselves. I mean, I'll probably go into that deeper and figure this all out as I go along. It doesn't really make sense why we would do that, but I think it's part of being here and how it has to go down in order for us to evolve. But instead of looking at the ego and the kind of littleness and the smallness of what my kids do, I just want to see what they're doing that looks to me, at least, the best I can do as a human that I am, of their oneness with God, or the love of them, their true nature, and celebrate that and leave the rest go. We were in therapy and stuff a while back, and that was kind of the gist of what he didn't use God and he didn't talk about any of that, but he said the same thing I kind of said. Celebrate the good stuff. Celebrate what how you want them to behave. Celebrate all that. Recognize that. Love the shit out of that, but leave the other stuff go. Don't maybe not even recognize it. Ignore it or address it as that. Hey, I'm not even gonna address that, or I'm gonna ignore that because I don't believe that was of your highest nature. Imagine if parents showed up like this, and that's what I'm transitioning and doing in my life more and more and more as I do this course, as I do other things, as I stay dedicated to being the magnitude of this lesson, or this section of the book is talking about. Where was I? For where you would have your brother be, there you think you are. So when you do this to other people, you're going to get it. You give that out, you're receiving it. So you're going to value yourself more when you show up and you value other people. It's a gift you're giving to them and yourself. I talked about this in earlier. You give, you receive. It's how the universe works. But if you're giving out hate and you're giving out crap, that's what you're going to get back as well. So be careful what you give out. Tap into the magnitude, tap into the abundance, tap into God, tap into love, tap into light, tap into these magnificent things that we can do here. Here, not his appeal to hell and littleness. Here it goes in to talk about what I just said, but only his call for heaven and greatness. Forget not that his call is yours, right? Because every call out of the ego is actually a call for, the book talks about this. Every call out of the ego is a call for love. Somebody comes to you, when kids, I'll use kids as an example. They're great examples. Even me, I could use examples out of my own life, and I will as I go along here. Every cry, everything, every attention-seeking thing that they do, even if it's annoying. Say you're doing something and you're like, wait a minute, and they start going, rah, 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 whatever kids do to get your attention, it's a call for love. They just want your love and attention. That's all they're calling for, right? Even adults, as adults, we do this. We just do it in different ways. We do it in passive-aggressive ways, Not, the higher version of ourselves. We tap into that's being not being direct and being direct in communication and setting boundaries and saying no to things and saying yes here, but no over here where it doesn't line up in your life. This is massive stuff that we have to transition and do. It's this rite of passage that we never had as children. We never transition from child to adult in this society, at least the society I grew up in. How important is that, right? That's why other cultures, and maybe in the past, before I was even here and even know of, obviously they weren't taught, my parents weren't taught that, and their parents weren't taught that because they didn't teach it to their kids and they didn't teach it to me. We usually teach and go into what we were taught, not always. I think we're doing a great some of us are doing a great job leveling up in our lives here. We're going to, as long as we can do that, we can change this world. We can change this world from hell to heaven. So finishing up here, God's power is forever on the side of his host, for it protects only the peace in which he dwells. Lay not littleness before his holy altar, which is you. Everything that he created, whatever you consider that to be, but definitely me and you, which rises above the stars and reaches even to heaven because of what is given it. So that was that little section 3 and chapter 15 of the text of A Course in Miracles. It was like really powerful for me. I don't know whether I'm going to how I'm going to continue on this channel, but I felt really good about this. I didn't really want this video to go 35 minutes long. I'm just like, wow. But I have so much to share. I have so much love to share. I have so much unconditional love to share. That's how I want to show up in this world. I want to reduce the amount of ego I show up in and show up more as the higher version of myself, as God, as Creator, as Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ, light. I just will repeat this over and over again because it's the very basis of how we decide to go through life. So I remember I used to close the other videos a certain way. I know that I just kind of did this spur of the moment, but I know I used to really get down and preach that we are the miracle. We can create heaven on earth here. Like we decide, So I think I said enough for today. I appreciate everybody that tuned in and listens to all the way through, and comment, like the channel, subscribe, and let's move forward and kick some ass. How about that? Instead of what I've been doing. And I'm not saying that you're not someone that's been doing this. If you are, awesome. I'm grateful for that. If you're not, awesome as well. Like, I'm grateful for that. Like, it is what it is. We are where we are, but we're here to serve each other. We're here to find our primary purpose and function here. We're here to create, and we're not here to be in isolation and not share our ideas and not share this stuff. I played that role in my life for too long. So here I am. So much love coming out of this guy. And I'll be bringing videos a little bit more often now. Thanks for tuning in.